Good evening and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am DM Bloodworth, and as you can see by the graphics, tonight's video I am doing a box opening, Gamma World 3rd Edition, the box set from TSR, 1986 I believe. The game I played very briefly back in the mid to late 80s, and it was not our go-to game. In comparison to Star Frontiers, we had spent much more time with Star Frontiers, but this is a box set that I was talking about getting to complete my my TSR box set collection from the 1980s, and so I'm down to just one more after this one. But this was a lucky buy because I had mentioned it during one of my previous videos, and I started looking for it on eBay, and within like a day or two, I came across a an auction for this particular box set, and got it at a reasonable price. I spent $48 on it, and then there were two options for delivery cost. One was $20 expedited to receive it by December 3rd, and the other was to receive it by December 5th. And I was like, well, is 2 days that much of a difference, a $17 difference to me? I was like, no, I'll just do the medium mail. And it actually arrived on November 30th. So I got it way, way ahead of time, even though I only paid the lower price. So I was really happy with that. But once again, it's a box opening. I really enjoy box openings. And so let's see what we have here. So the first thing I like to do is I like to take a look at the box itself. And, yes, it's a little bit indented here. But other than that, I mean, the box itself, the corners are all intact. And the color is not faded or anything. It's still pretty crisp coloring there. Like I said, the corners are really quite good. Now, the thing I really liked about this was, and I'm going to show you a different view of this here, but there we have original dice. And it's so rare for you to actually find original dice that in these box sets, and to get one for, under $60, $70 is virtually unheard of. At least in my experience of buying things on eBay and these older box sets. So really happy to get original dice and a complete set of the original dice. We'll set those off to the side. So here we have the rulebook. And TSR had shifted sometime in the mid 80s to this this kind of a setup. The first time I think I saw it was in Zebulon's Guide for Star Frontiers, but then it started working its way into its other games as well. And the rulebook is looking pretty tight. I mean, it's the pages are pretty clear, pretty white. It's still pretty firm in my hand, so it wasn't used very much. The character file is unwritten on, so that's always a plus. That's pretty cool. We have here, now it's literally been since 1986 or 87 since I've seen this. So this is a shield, perhaps even a player's shield. It has the weapons charts, defense tables and such, and it does have some pre-gen characters, and the action table here on the back. There's a map on the other side as well. So perhaps it's a player player shield. Here's another here. So this one's biological species injuries, defense, weapons, again weapons, random events. This one might be the DM shield, or GM, I should say. So yeah, I think there seems to be two shields, and one is more geared towards the game master than the other. Pretty cool. Gamma World Rules Supplement. I should mention that this is written by James N. Mord and Harold Johnson. So that's definitely a Dralicite. Now I'm curious to see if there's any crossover, because it really literally has been that long since I've looked at this game. But supplemental rules. This is a reference book. I've seen this picture many, many times before. Let's see, who's the artist? It's not saying. 1986, I was right as far as the year was concerned. So creatures, yeah, so this is going to be like the monster manual of Gamma World. I do notice that the staples, there is a little bit more rusting than I usually see, but again, I'm not looking to resell these anyway. So, all right, this is an adventure book, probably a series of adventures and perhaps mini scenarios and such. Actually, this looks like just one full adventure. That's pretty cool. A color map. And it's really quite large. That was one thing with the TSR, really liked big maps with their things. Wow, it's huge. So that's a big map. Still very vibrant, great color to it. This looks like a smaller map. A couple coffee stains on it. So this is a hex map for Gamma World here. Obviously, it's the United States. So 1978, 81 TSR. So I guess Gamma World first edition was in 78. Second edition would be 81. And third edition, obviously, 86. Always nice to have one of these, and the box set kind of completes it, makes it a complete set here. And then the back cover. It's, again, a little coffee staining here, but or water stain. A little bit ruffled, but again, the corners are solid, and it will go back in there quite the same way as it came in. So once again, I'm very happy with what I got here. Like I said, I think it's a fairly reasonable price to get something complete, and particularly the fact that it came with original dice, which you often do not see. So that's always a plus. And so there we have it. For a total of $51, I filled in another another spot on my shelf with another great TSR game. Probably noticed from looking at my channel that I really do enjoy these box openings, and I really enjoy getting a hold of these older games from from a variety of developers back in the 1980s, really trying to just recapture the collection and the games that I played, from back in, from 77 to about 87 to 88 or so when I stopped playing tabletop role playing games back then. But you know, if you're into newer games now and you haven't started looking at some of the older games, I really recommend that you take a look at, you might be the biggest fan of fifth edition D&D, and looking back over the time, you might see that some of the older editions are, just have a different feel to them. And that's something that I get from looking at these older games in comparison to new games out here now. They tended to be very dense, a lot of writing in them, a lot of art in them, and just the systems themselves were a little bit more complicated. And I know a lot of people might say to themselves, you know what, I like a much more simpler OSR, or I like the much more, narrative kind of play. I don't like numbers crunching or doing those kinds of things. And it's I've always found that I enjoy new games, I enjoy older games, and I really do like getting my hands on the games that I played back when I was a kid and a teenager. And as a collector, I like to collect the first edition if I hadn't played the game, and I like to collect the edition that I was first introduced to the game, which is why I wanted the third edition of Gamma World and not the first or the second. If I hadn't played it, I would have gone with the first edition if it was affordable enough. But in this case, I kind of got the best of both. I got the edition I actually did play, and I got it for a reasonable price. So that's always a great find. So I only have one more game left in the TSR box sets, I believe, that I need to get my hands on, and that will finally complete my set. So my wife will be happy that I'm not spending any more money on some of this older stuff, and I can start looking at, picking up some newer stuff as well. But hey, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you hadn't subscribed, please consider subscribing. If you have any comments to make, if you have anything to say about Gamma World, or if there's a community, I'm sure there's a Gamma World community. I know there's an old school TSR community on Facebook, but if there's a Gamma World community, I will be uploading and linking this to your page on Facebook as well, so that you can take a look at it and perhaps tell me a little bit about the game to refresh my memory, because literally the last time I played this was probably 86 or 87. And once again, thanks for joining. I hope you enjoyed this video. Keep on looking for game buys out there. If you're a collector, much like myself, keep on looking out there. There's, every once in a while you strike it lucky. I always see people posting these things that they got at yard sales and stuff like that, where it's like incredible buys out there. There's so much content that's out there that you can get your hands on. So always be on the lookout. Try to get your hands on these things. And I hope it's for the sake of either collecting or just enjoying the older games, and actually reading through them and playing them. And it would be great to take this to a convention and bang, today we're going to play third edition Gamma World. I mean, how often would you see that in a game convention today, as just some of us older guys coming out there and breaking out these much older editions of games that new players might not be familiar with. So once again, thanks for joining. I think that's the second or third time I've said that. Keep on playing out there. I look forward to seeing you on a gaming screen sometime soon. You'll have a great evening. Take care.